A record number of officer-involved shootings last year in Phoenix, and today the highly anticipated results of a big study into the reasons why those confrontations keep happening.
The number is disturbing for everyone. 44 officer-involved shootings by Phoenix Police Department in 2018. That's way up from an average of just 21 from 2009 to 2017. The study showed Phoenix led the nation in fatal officer-involved shootings with 23. That's 9 more than the next closest department.
Good evening, I'm Kadiba Devine.
And I am Mitch Carr, in for Mark Curtis, who's on assignment this week.
That report released this morning sheds some light on why Phoenix has seen such a sharp increase in the number of deadly shootings.
12 News is digging into the facts behind those numbers, and Team 12's Bram Resnick begins team coverage of our big story. He is live with us in Studio 12A right now. Bram, what have you uncovered?
This $150,000 study was put together quickly, the authors say, in response to the city's urgent need to find out why so many people were being shot by police. There are 22 recommendations and sub-recommendations for how Phoenix PD can respond. Mayor Kate Gallego is already at work on one of them. Researchers with the National Police Foundation took a deep dive on the numbers behind last year's shootings. More suspects were carrying firearms than in past years, many more of them assaulting officers.
Well, this doesn't justify in and of itself the use of deadly force. It certainly has impact on officer decision-making as well as officer safety.
Police and community groups interviewed by researchers agreed on one thing. Officers aren't equipped to deal with the mentally ill suspects who confront them. Phoenix Mayor Kate Gallego is already working to get help.
That is one of the areas where I think we can do the most improvements and save the most lives.
Gallego said Governor Doug Ducey's office is committed to joining the effort to link cops more closely to mental health providers.
Typically, the city of Phoenix is not the branch of government that is in charge of mental health, but as you see from today's report, it pervades everything we do, and we will step up and be partners in making that change.
And one of the changes Police Chief Jerry Williams says she'd like to see is 911 calls going straight to mental health professionals, or mental health professionals riding with police to calls that might require their help. Let's send it back to you.
All right, Bram, thank you. One of the big takeaways from today's report, the need for police to improve their relationships with the community.
That sentiment is strong across a number of different community groups as well. Lisa Nico continues our team coverage, and she's live in the Alert Center right now with that part of the story. Lisa?
I spoke with one of the community groups that consulted on the study. They say there are changes that the community have been recommending for years.
There's a lot of emotion.
Human rights activist Viri Hernandez sharing her thoughts about the officer-involved shooting study.
A report that cost taxpayers $150,000. To just reiterate what community members have said, it's hard to rationalize it.
Many issues, she says, the community has been fighting for years. Particularly concerning to Viri, how officers respond to mental health calls.
Many times officers come to escalate an issue, not to solve the problem.
An issue Phoenix Mayor Kate Gallego says she's looking to fix on the city level, perhaps adding healthcare professionals to mental health emergencies.
If it were a member of my family, I would want the response to also potentially include someone who's trained in mental health.
While Hernandez is happy to learn at least some promises have been made, she's not confident what will come next.
And so we don't have trust that this department's actually going to implement any of these solutions. And that is a very scary thing for community members, because we know that it is our lives that are on the line.
According to today's report, there were 41,000 mental health calls to Phoenix Police last year. Live in the Alert Center, Lisa Nico, 12 News.
All right, Lisa, thank you. You can find continued coverage of our big story on 12news.com. We have put a link to the full news conference there, as well as all of the 9 recommendations to the Phoenix Police Department.